Podcast script Freebies, Politics and Social Justice, an in-depth analysis by DNTV Hyderabad. Hello listeners, welcome to the latest episode of the DNTV Hyderabad podcast. Today, we dive into a highly debated and complex topic that has captured the nation's attention. The issue of political parties announcing freebies. This term, often used to describe welfare schemes, has sparked questions about its fairness, implications, and the broader context of social justice. As always, this podcast reflects the opinions of DNTV Hyderabad and strives to present a balanced discussion rooted in the values of our Constitution. Let's begin by setting the tone with an important editorial statement. Editorial statement by DNTV Hyderabad. The word freebies is often perceived as dismissive, if not outright insulting, when used to describe welfare schemes that aim to uplift the downtrodden. These initiatives stem from the Directive Principles of State Policy enshrined in our Constitution. Their purpose is to promote social justice and economic equality, ensuring that every citizen can share in the nation's resources. While the misuse of such schemes is a legitimate concern, labeling welfare measures as freebies undermines their significance in bridging economic disparities. Public representatives have the mandate to implement policies that align with constitutional values, promoting the welfare of all, especially those in need. With that foundation, let's move on to the Supreme Court's involvement in this issue. The Supreme Court's committee, a necessary step or a delayed debate. Recently, the Supreme Court formed an expert committee to examine the impact of political freebies on elections and the economy. This committee includes representatives from various government bodies, political parties, and economic institutions. But this move has sparked skepticism among legal experts. Senior counsel Rajiv Dhawan has termed it a potential burial by committee, suggesting that no significant action might emerge. Similar opinions have been echoed by others who believe that addressing the issue requires more than forming committees. It demands substantial electoral and legal reforms. The constitutional context. India is a welfare state and the constitution mandates policies to reduce inequalities and ensure access to essential resources like education, healthcare, and livelihoods. The so-called freebies are not mere handouts but a mean to uphold these constitutional obligations. As Supreme Court lawyer Anas Tanveer pointed out, subsidies and welfare schemes are essential for the majority population. He argues that focusing on these schemes distracts from larger electoral issues such as the opaque system of electoral bonds, the role of taxpayers and public debate. A recurring narrative pits taxpayers against welfare recipients, framing welfare as a burden on those who pay taxes. However, this dichotomy is misleading. Taxes fund various public goods and services, from infrastructure to education. Welfare schemes are an extension of these public benefits aimed at uplifting and economically marginalized. The focus, therefore, should not be on eliminating welfare measures but on ensuring their effective implementation while addressing issues like corruption and inefficiency. Political freebies versus social justice. Critics argue that political parties use welfare schemes as a tool to garner votes, undermining informed decision making. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta even suggested that such schemes could lead to economic disaster if left unregulated. But advocates for welfare policies maintain that these schemes are crucial for achieving social justice. As Kapil Sibal noted, the issue is deeply political and economic, requiring nuanced debate in parliament rather than simplistic regulation. Call to action. A people's war on inequality at DNTV Hyderabad. We believe the true focus should be on eradicating corruption, improving access to education and healthcare, and addressing larger social issues like drug abuse and extremism. Political discourse must shift from divisive narratives to collaborative efforts for social and economic equality. Conclusion. As we wrap up, it's clear that the debate on welfare policies or freebies is far from simple. It's reflection of the larger struggle to balance economic growth with social justice. We invite you, our listeners, to join the conversation, share your thoughts on this important issue on our social media channels. Let's build a future where every citizen has the opportunity to thrive. Thank you for tuning into this episode of DNTV Hyderabad. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we will see you next time. Follow DNTV Hyderabad on YouTube channel.